Hi, my name is Thomas Middledore, and this is devlog entry 1 for Spacehighwayman, which is a game that I'm making for a game jam, the Watch and Jam game jam. I'll provide a link down below. The jam runs for just over 2 weeks now, I think, so this is going to be a short-ish project. I've been working on it for like a couple of days, just, getting the idea working. I'm kind of enjoying it so far. The Watch and Jam game jam is based around a sort of live stream slash YouTube series called Watch and Play, where the hosts play the most garbage games on the internet and have a great fun time seeing how broken they are. And so the idea with this jam is that it encourages people to just try and make something, anything, doesn't matter if it's garbage. You don't need to make a good game, just make something and submit it, even if it's not finished. So that'll be fun, because I tend to either not finish things or work on projects that take a very long time. So it'll be fun to just make something in a relatively short amount of time and not worry if it actually goes that well. I know that some game jams are a lot shorter than this even, but I don't know, I think this should be an interesting length of time to spend on a project. So the theme for this year's Watch and Jam was assets that are in the wrong place, or assets that are not where they should be, or where you would expect them to be. And that theme, to me, immediately brought to mind thousands of random assets floating through space for some reason. Not sure why, that's just the visual that popped into my head. And then I thought, well, okay, so why are these all floating through space? Well, maybe they fell off the back of a space lorry. So, the idea I'm going with here is that you are some sort of a space pirate, and you are flying around stealing cargo. So you are the acquaintance of a angry scientist who has invented a way to compress cargo into a much smaller, basically a science bag of holding. And so they've requested that you go and liberate some cargo for them. So this is the cargo ship that you are attacking. The design for the ship is, I'm going to say, heavily influenced by the freighter design from SpaceShipping, which is a webcomic by Alex Steacy, who is actually one of the hosts of Watch and Play. I won't be providing a direct link to it because it's not safe for work, and while I appreciate that the censored version of the comic is educational, I would still definitely class it as adult rated. So yeah, if I'll provide the name below, but if you don't Google it unless you're prepared for not safe for work stuff, and are of course old enough. But yeah, I really liked the freighter design of, like, we have space travel, but we still just kind of lash a bunch of cargo containers together. It's almost like garbage punk, I guess. High tech, but still kind of shitty. Anyway, so the way that you steal these containers is you have. I still need to actually hang on. Which weapon I've got here? Nope, that's the wrong weapon. Not that one. Those ones. Okay, I need to add weapon indicators to show which ones you've selected. But basically, you fire some rockets at the container ship, and the containers come loose. And then you switch to the space vacuum. And yeah, that can happen if you're not careful. So you need to keep these things in front of you, and it shrinks them down and grabs them, but if you don't keep them within the beam, then they just crash into you and cause problems. if you do manage to keep them basically centered, then you can actually collect them. And it's tracking there how many the ship had, how many you've detached, how many you've collected. They don't actually get destroyed yet. That's there's going to be a maximum distance you can get from the freighter before you hit the edge of the warp field and get destroyed, or the containers get destroyed, or whatever. And there's also going to be some kind of time restriction on the, how long you can actually, how long the thing's in flight for. There may be some sort of either police response, or it just gets to its destination or whatever. But this is basically the premise, and the containers that do actually just get destroyed will then leave, random whatever floating through space. So we'll see what assets I can find to have coming out of the containers. And I have a bunch of other ideas for things that I'm going to add to this, but I guess I'll try to stick to my usual principle of don't talk about things until I've actually implemented them, partly to save time and partly so I can actually show you what I'm talking about instead of just talking. Anyway, yeah, so this is kind of fun. The original version didn't have the containers sort of held in place until they were hit by the blast. Here's my weapons. They, when you hit any containers, it would kind of riffle through the whole thing, and it looked quite cool, but it was also caused a real mess. So now it only actually dislodges containers that are within the radius of the blast. And yeah, so that's kind of where this is going. There will be some kind of space fence that you go to unload your stolen cargo, and again, I'm getting into the don't talk about it until I've implemented it thing. So I should really just stop here, since this is pretty much all there is so far. The only other thing that I accidentally showed was the this thing, which is like meant to be an EMP weapon. There'll be some sort of electrical things that that you can disable with it. I'm not sure whether it'll be attacking ships or turrets on the cargo ship or something like that, but yeah. Anyway, because this project is only going to be going for like just over 2 weeks, or around 2 weeks, I'm not sure if I'll do these devlog entries once per week, or just kind of maybe more often, or maybe just one again at the end. We'll see how I feel. So I guess just check back randomly. I guess you could subscribe to the channel if you want to get notified about new videos. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and if you do come back and see another video, then see you then. Alright, bye.